Live on LinkedIn. All right. So I am beyond excited to be able to go live with you today because you have such an incredible story, an incredible business, and you have brought so much joy to the world that it made perfect sense for me to be able to hop on a live with you. And I'm so excited that we were able to schedule this and make that happen. So, I am introducing Angela Lightsey. She is the owner of Tybee Wellness Retreats. So, here local, just outside of Savannah, but she does host retreats globally as well, and on Tybee. So, you get the best of both worlds. Angela, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
absolutely. I know. I'm so excited to have this conversation. It's something that really needs to happen. Being a business owner and an entrepreneur is it's so complex and there's so many layers to it that I think until you become a business owner, you're not really aware of it. And I love that we're having a discussion around self-care for business owners today. And I'm going to go ahead and toss out if you listen to everything that Angela has to say and you want in on this, and you should, I don't know how you would listen today and not be signing up for a retreat right away. You can reach her in two different ways. You can reach her by texting or calling her cell, and I wrote it down so I don't forget it, 912-657-0228. Or you can email her at Tybee Wellness Retreats with an S at the end at gmail.com. And she would love to hear from you and get you set up with whatever it is that you need to feel like you can actually take care of yourself and have some goodness in your life. So we are going to jump right in. I have a bunch of questions. I'm confident we're not going to make it all of them. So I'm going to look at them and see which ones I think are the most powerful and best, and the ones that I get asked from my clients and my audience. And I know that you do as well. So, okay, but we have to start at the beginning. Tell me what inspired you to start your retreat business and how self-care played a role in that. I know the answer to this question already, but I feel like everybody else needs to know the answer too.
Okay, so this is a big question.
Mhm.
I started this business because I was already doing all of the practices that we
Yeah,
offer at the retreats, the yoga, the energy work, the massage,
right.
working on myself. And I was on my own spiritual journey for several years. And then COVID hit. And then I was also simultaneously going through a divorce.
Right.
And coming from a background of hotel sales and marketing in the
Mhm.
past, I had the idea to marry my skills with my passion. And so Tybee Wellness Retreats was created. It has become so much more to me than I originally thought that
Yeah.
it would.
Yeah.
I've met so many incredible women over the years, and I'm also able to still pick my
Mhm.
kid up from school, which
Right.
is
Right.
one of the main reasons why I started my own business.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love that because I was actually speaking to a potential client yesterday who wants to, she's done something as a passion for 6 years and wants to turn it into a business. And she reached out to me about working together because she doesn't want her life to revolve around her business. She wants her business to fit her life. And so many of us do it the opposite, right? It's hard to run a business. It's hard to, especially to launch it, get it off the ground, start from scratch, right? And it's really, really easy sometimes to kind of fall into that trap of working all the time, which is for a lot of us not the reason we started our business. We lose sight of that as we're going along, right? Did you face that at all? Did you have any times where you felt like you were kind of sliding into that and you had to course correct?
So, yes and no.
Hmm.
In the line of business that I'm in, my business is self-care and creating space for women to be able to explore what they need and come up with a formula that works specifically for them.
Right.
So when I built my business model, I built in self-care because I knew and know how important it is.
Yeah.
So it made sense. And I would recommend whatever business that you have to build that in
Hmm.
because I'm able to give more to my clients. I'm able to give more to my family. I'm able to give more to my friends and my partner by making sure that I'm taking that time that I need for myself. And
Right.
it helps all aspects of my life run well together.
Right, right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And knowing that from the beginning, and I love the fact that like in your retreat business, this is kind of what you do and what you offer to others. So there's a level of accountability that comes with that, which is great. Right? You've got to walk your own walk. I struggle with that though sometimes too, even feeling like I'm not walking my walk and I need to keep myself on track. But I think I realize it that much faster in the industry that I'm in. But you're going to go further and you're going to stay in business longer and you're going to have a more successful business when you have that foundation, right? And I think society and our culture is all about the hustle, all about the grind, all about just, go, 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 that it's kind of lost on us that actually you can do less and achieve more. You can go slower and get more productivity out of your day, right? It's counterintuitive. It's against what we've been taught, but it actually works that way. You're going to do more when you're doing less, essentially, right? So I know self-care is built into what you do and what you offer. So what are some of the non-negotiable like self-care practices that you do, especially when you, excuse me, find yourself getting busy? Or maybe being at a stressful time of life, because those are still going to come up. So, what are some non negotiable self care things that you
I do a lot of things, and some of them I like to trick myself
do? Love
because sometimes I get really busy and I'll miss a couple
Mhm,
days of
mhm.
yoga, or I'll
Yeah,
miss one thing that's very important to me is movement of the body
right, right.
and napping. You know, I love to nap.
Yes, we're all about the nap. Yes.
But as I move through the days and things come up and my schedule gets full, I've learned to build in like self-care cheating almost,
Oh, nice.
where I love to practice gratitude. So every time I cross the bridge onto Wilmington Island, my
Yeah.
daughter and I say, "Hey, we're grateful for this."
Oh,
That's a shot of self-care
yes, yes.
because I'm taking the moment, I'm pausing, and I'm saying, "Today I'm grateful for baked ziti or whatever it is."
Thank God for pasta. Yes.
I think I'm hungry, but
Right? It is lunchtime
that's
prayer.
yeah, that's one thing I do that's non-negotiable. My gratitude is
Yeah.
non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And another cheat that I do for self-care is breath. So if
Mm,
I'm standing at the line in the line at the grocery store, or I'm having a moment with my child where it's causing friction,
yeah.
self-care to me can be built in at any time during your
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So if I
Absolutely.
pause and do the
Right.
that's
Right.
self-care.
Right. I agree.
I also like to do an impromptu kitchen dance because
Oh,
dancing brings me a lot of joy.
yes.
So I've found a way personally, and I've been working at this for a very long time. But what works for me is knowing that there are practices that I can grab
Mhm,
anytime I need
mhm.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of them I only need 10 seconds.
Right. 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 There's so many things you said that are such like nuggets of wisdom. They're just gold because we develop this perception of self-care that it has to be this like giant that like I took a vacation for a month to Bali. That was my self-care, right? And then it just feels so big and so unachievable that we never follow through on it because it just feels like I can't fit that into my life, right? Um, excuse me, but I love that you said as you go over the bridge. So there's a trigger, there's a reminder, there's something there that's like, hey, this is what I do, so that that pattern and that routine that's built in for you, it's an automatic reminder of what you need to be doing, right? Instead of this more passive, I should think about things that I'm grateful for during my day. And then you end up at the end of the day and you're going to sleep and you're half, and half in dreamland going, oh crap, I didn't have any gratitude moments today, right? So you try to fit it in and it's not really valuable at that point anyways, right? So having that trigger to remind you that this is what I do and you know how to respond to it helps build that habit and build that routine, and that you are doing that with your daughter. I think
Yeah.
that's absolutely amazing. Having that as part of her routine as well is absolutely incredible. So, Yeah, I'm here for it. Now, let me ask you this one thing though before I move on to the next question. So, the impromptu dance parties in the kitchen. I love a good impromptu dance. And my office, which I call my queen's room is big enough. I've got the space over here, I've got the space over here. I dance in here all the time. Sometimes it's like ballet dancing, sometimes it's like shake it out, somatic shaking. But I have a go-to song, especially if I'm frustrated, especially if I'm like really stressed out. I have a go-to song that's like my stress relieving song. Do you have a playlist that you go to? Do you have a song, or is it just like whatever come, or do you put a song on, or do you just dance? How do you do that?
I always put a song on.
Okay.
My mind is full of song lyrics.
We were talking about that
Lots
yesterday.
of song lyrics.
Yeah.
But it just depends on the mood I'm in. I do
Okay.
have a playlist for the Guatemala retreat
Yes,
that I
yes,
always share with the guests, and that
yes.
one is full of empowering songs.
Yeah,
Could
yeah.
be for anybody, but it's sort of shifted towards women.
Okay.
It could be, Beastie Boys or Janet Jackson. It could
Right?
really be anything. But yes, I have several playlists for dancing.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. So my stress relieving song, I don't know if I cuss on this, if it'll like block it. So I don't want to say the actual word, but it's the song title is Son of a Bee. And so it just really like it really gets me going, if I'm really stressed. It's amazing. I love it. It's Nathaniel Ratcliffe, I think Ratliff. I don't know. Anyways, I'll have to look it up and put it in the comments because it is such a fun song. Especially if someone pisses you off. Because there's a line at the beginning of the song, and this is terrible. I probably shouldn't share this, but it's like if someone pisses you off, it just really this song, it says, I'm gonna cover myself. This is terrible. I shouldn't say this. I'm gonna co- I'm gonna cover myself in the ashes of you, and nobody's gonna give a damn. Isn't that terrible? But like if someone like really
So,
pisses you off, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna, yes, I'm gonna burn it all down. I'm gonna burn it all down. That's my phrase lately anyway. So
so I was listening to a song called Goddess before I got on this with you because I like to
oh,
pump myself up before I do
yes,
any video or like
yes,
speaking
yes,
engagement. So
yes.
I'll send you that and you can put that
Okay, thank
in
you.
the
I'll
chat
add it
too.
to my list. Yes, and put it in the chat. I love it. I love it. Thank you. That's perfect. Okay, cool. So, and I don't know if this is something that you personally have experienced, but I know that a lot of people that I speak to, it seems to be just ubiquitous. Everybody is, females that I talk to, women that I talk to, they experience a lot of guilt around their self-care, taking the time for the self-care, spending the money on the self-care, being away from their partner or their children for the self-care. Have you experienced that yourself? And do you have any advice for female business owners that feel guilty about taking time for themselves?
Yes, I have experienced that. And I've
Yeah.
experienced that in different degrees.
Yeah.
Um, Meaning I've had, I think it's something that we as women will
Yeah.
always kind of struggle with. I
Yeah.
think it's kind of built into our DNA and
Right.
how we move through the world.
Right.
And there's a reason for it. I'm sure there's a good
Yeah.
reason for
Right.
it.
Right. Evolutionarily, there's got to be something.
Yeah. But sometimes it does get in the way of
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
taking care of ourselves because
Yeah.
we think we should be doing X or
Right.
Z, Y or Z.
Right.
Instead,
Right.
I have come to the point in my life where I know that I am not authentically me
Mm,
and my nervous system is not relaxed. My body doesn't feel good
mm.
unless I'm pausing and taking the time that I need to care for myself. And
Right.
getting to that place of self care should not feel like work.
Right. Right. Right.
So it
Yeah.
could be having a conversation with your partner about their support or your kids
Right.
about, hey, I really need and
Yeah.
establishing a time of day where you have 10 minutes or
Yeah.
it sounds easier than it actually is. And I recognize that.
100%. 100%. Yes.
But I think that we need to try really hard to get rid of that guilt. And like I said, I
Yeah.
still have it from time to time. And
Yeah.
I'll go, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I thought you were gone.
Right,
but it
right.
happens. So it
Yeah,
has to be intentional. And
yeah,
for me, it has to be something that really, I think you say this a lot, it
yeah.
lights me up.
Yes,
It
yes,
has to be
yes.
something that really lights me up and makes me
Exactly.
feel this was my own made up story about worth my time.
Right, right. Yes, yes, yes. That's exactly right. I and I've been sharing this on my social media, so this is not new information, but over the last few months, I got out of alignment myself, and it's sneaky sometimes. You don't always realize it, you know? And there's a difference between like busy and aligned because I can be busy and out of alignment and I can be busy and in alignment.
Mhm.
And I can be busy and taking care of myself and busy and not taking care of myself, right? And I sometimes do this and I don't know that this is right or wrong or whatever, but like if the pendulum is over here and I'm not doing a great job taking care of myself, I tend to take that pendulum all the way over there. Right? And there is a happy balance in the middle, but I almost feel like sometimes you have to take it over here for it to be able to swing back down in the middle, right? So right now, and this may stay, this may not stay, I'm open to whatever, but when I realized in my body that my son and my husband were asking for very normal, reasonable things, and I was angry and bitter about it, I was like, ooh, something's off, right? And there was a night where I was in here and I said, I need some time to get some stuff done. The next day, my husband was off. It was our anniversary, and I didn't want to do any work. And Fridays, I don't take clients, but those are I'm a business owner day, right? Like that's when I get all my business stuff done. And so I had to get all of that done on Thursday while seeing clients. And so he got home from work, he's a nurse, and I said, okay, I need you to watch Jace, my son, because I need like 2 hours to be able to get this done so that tomorrow, free and clear, I'm not even looking at emails, 100% focus on us. In like 30 minutes, my son came in the room 5 times. And I was like, I guess I'm moving. I guess I'm leaving the country. I guess I guess I'm not gonna be a mom anymore, because I don't know, like, what in the hell is going on? And And instead, because that initial knee-jerk reaction was frustration at them, and then it was like, okay, but if I was communicating my needs and holding those boundaries behind communicating those needs, that wouldn't have happened, right? It wouldn't have happened. And so I have mom hour every day. I have mom hour from 7:45 p.m. till 8:45 p.m. I told my son, this is the door to my office. I said, if you die, you can come talk to me because your spirit's going to be able to come through that door. Otherwise, don't talk to me. Right? And so I'm getting that time, but I'm a better mom, I'm a better business owner, I'm a better wife because of it. And sometimes it's just really sneaky. So when you have systems like you do in place to be able to say, this is my self-care, this is what I'm going to do, it gives you that long lasting, success where you have long-term benefits from your business, your personal life, and you as a whole human, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when you talk about boundaries because a big part of setting the boundary is recognizing that you're not giving that boundary to the other person.
Yes.
So, and I used to
Yes.
think that way. I would say,
Yes.
this is my boundary and
Yeah.
hand it to the other person for them to be responsible for my boundary.
Right.
When in reality, it's my job
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
this is my boundary and
Yeah.
remind the person of my boundary. So that's just funny that came up for me when you were telling that story. Like,
Exactly.
Jace.
Yes, nail on the head, right? It's me. It's not them. It's so easy to blame them, but it's me. It's absolutely me, right? I need to hold that boundary. Nail on the head.
It's hard.
Okay. All right, let's wrap up with one quick one because I know we're right at the end of time here. So let me see what I think would be the most powerful one. So let me ask because I do know that you have different offerings. You have Guatemala, you have Tybee, and then you can serve in Tybee even if people aren't on a retreat. So, what are some tips and practices that you offer on your retreats that would be good, like a good fit for female entrepreneur, that they can, if they attend a retreat, they can take that home and make it part of their daily life, or just sharing that information as well.
So the first thing that comes to mind is the umbrella of the experience is you have a space
Right,
and you're held in a space, a safe space where you can do nothing but focus on yourself.
right, right, right.
So that's the big overarching picture of this
Yeah,
is that we
yeah,
are taking care of you.
right.
We do move through lots of different types of experiences during the retreat,
Hmm.
and typically guests will find one or two things that they find really useful in their daily lives.
Yeah.
One thing that I love for business owners is the
Hmm.
energy workshop because you move
Yeah.
through and learn a mantra about how to protect your energy
Yes.
and also how your
Yes.
energy affects those around you
Oh,
and how others' energy affects you.
yeah, yeah,
So
that's
for
good.
me in business, that is a huge thing to be aware of and know how to navigate through. We
Yeah.
also have an awesome coach that
What?
and
That's funny.
if you don't know, Amy comes and does our coaching
Yes,
on
I
Sundays,
do.
and
Yes.
she has created this amazing session called Find Your Fire. And she helps us kind of wrap up everything we've learned into a coherent message for ourselves for when we go home, because it is a lot of new information and it's
Yeah.
time where you're able to focus on what's going to work for you. And sometimes it could get a little confusing. So Amy helps us to bring that back and make sense to ourselves before we send everybody home.
I love that. I love that. And
Yeah.
that's one of the things that made it an easy yes to be able to partner with you and offer a workshop with you. But also I've attended the Saturday energy workshop. It was absolutely life-changing. It was incredible. Sue is I mean, top notch already, but just being around Sue is incredible. But the energy workshop, there was a lot that I learned, that I had not had, taught to me before. But that's one thing that I think is so beautiful about what you offer. And it doesn't matter if it's Guatemala, if it's Tybee Wellness Retreats, or if I'm staying at my own, place, a hotel or an Airbnb, and I reach out to you to have one of your practitioners come and offer a service. It doesn't matter because you're getting something in that moment and you get to take that with you, right? When we think about self-care, around, like, I don't know, getting your nails done or your hair done, which I hate that as an example, because that's just body maintenance. And if a man goes and gets his hair done, he's not saying he had any self-care that day. He just got a haircut, right? Like, so I hate it when we do that. But it's a one-time moment thing, and you feel better, and it's great and it's fun, but it's not gonna make a long-lasting change as far as like I have a new tool and a new strategy or more information and education that I'm gonna take that for the rest of my days, right? And I love that you do both. You can get like the massage or the cord cutting or whatever services. There's so many of them that you offer, but also there's a lot of conversation around what people can do when they leave your world and when they leave your space. And I think that's so beautiful that you have created a very balanced offering, so that that's taken into account as well. So,
I just got off the phone with, I have to tell you, a guest
yeah.
that's come twice, Tatiana.
Okay.
Do you remember
Yes.
her?
Yes, I do.
She just
I
had a
do.
baby
Oh,
and she called me out of the blue.
yeah.
This has become, a family.
Yes, it is. It's absolutely a family.
And she said to tell you hi and she needs
Oh,
to come back. But yeah, she has absolutely taken the things that she has learned at the retreats, and she had a
yeah.
surprise new baby, which she's in love with them. But
Oh,
she said
oh,
that she's been practicing the breath and
yes,
doing all the things.
yes.
So
Oh, I love that
that's
so
pretty cool when I get
much.
to connect with people who have
Yeah.
attended in the past and still have that personal.
Yeah.
And
because
that's
you,
another thing that we do is I can give you resources after the
right,
fact.
right, exactly, exactly. It's
You know,
not you come, you get something, and then, okay, have a nice day, right? You really have created a family. It's a really beautiful family, one that I'm very happy to be a part of.
I know. Me too.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Angela. And just to reiterate, Angela is the owner of Tybee Wellness Retreats. Her phone number, and you can absolutely text or call her, is 912-657-0228. But you can reach her at Tybee Wellness Retreats with an S at gmail.com as well. And you will not regret attending a retreat. So I highly advise it to anybody. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me because you really embody that self-care in your business as a mom and in every aspect of your life. So thank you for offering up your tidbits. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Amy.
Absolutely.